Hello, this is Sheshachalam from Astroguide myself. Today, let us understand the proximity of planets to Sun. Usually, we call this as combustion, but here today it is Rahu, which is very close to Sun, and usually people call this as Grahana, that is eclipse, because most of the times when Sun comes close to Rahu or Ketu, and Moon is passing on the other side or along with them, so the axis becomes the same, the eclipse happens. But here today we are not talking about the eclipse, we are not talking about the Grahana, we are talking about Rahugrastasurya, that is Surya being engulfed by Rahu. Let us understand the situation before going into the real prediction and analysis of this particular combination. Surya is, that is Sun, is fire, and you cannot see fire when there is too much smoke. And how do you get smoke? If anybody in science can simply understand, or they know it, but for a normal person also he knows it. Like if you put, like for example, if there are leaves to and you are burning it or it's on fire, and you can see that the more dry the leaf, the less the smoke. The more moist the leaf, or if there are some green leaves mixed along with it, more the smoke. That means the pure fuel emits very less smoke, and impure fuel means that fuel which has not become fully fuel, that is, it is not fully dry and fully not ready for combust, gives a lot of smoke. And when the smoke's there around fire, you cannot see the fire. You are first affected because of the smoke. You are first hit because of the smoke. And before even you see the fire, many times people collapse. You can see in building fires, on forest fires, you can see that most of the places you can see dense smoke. Smoke is extremely dense and it's heavy. It actually sits down on the, it gets stuck to the earth. But fire is something which is the cause of burning, but what it is burning is very important. So when smoke and fire come together, that is, Rahu is dhumra. Dhumra means as good as smoke. That is why we tell Rahu dhumra varnam dhumra malyam bharadaram dhumra gandhan liptam. So it is dhumra. Dhumra means as dusty smoke. So Surya is as bright as fire, the sun. It's pure. So when purity and impurity come together, what actually will happen? That is what we are talking today. This is a very important class. Please do not skip this class. You will understand each and every detail of this particular combination, because most of the people suffering from difficulties are one of the combination is this. Okay, let us first define Surya and then define Rahu. I have made a big list of it. And I have made some comparative analysis, and the study gives you the details of Rahu and Surya in its purity, in the form of purity. That is, individually what is Rahu, individually what is Surya, and then when we mix it together, when we bring them too close together. Here, Rahugrastasurya, I am taking it as around less than 7 degrees from Sun. Rahu less than 7 degrees from Sun, either side. So let us take it as Rahugrastasurya. We all know Sun is a ruler, it is a king. This is the pure form of Sun. So I will not be repeating the pure form and the impure form and all these things, pure form of Rahu. So I am just going to tell you once. Sun means ruler, the king. And what does the king desire? He desires fame, status, and position. What is Rahu? Rahu desires social recognition, social honor, social wealth. That is to show off the wealth which you want to publicize and to show that I have a big palatial house, I have wealth to squander. That is Rahu. He wants immense wealth. I'll not tell it is negative, but still the desire to want too much is what is Rahu, and we know that too much is sometimes becomes too bad. So when they both mix up, they give up one particular thing, like the person will go to all lengths to achieve this wealth, honor, fame, recognition, and status and position. This is very difficult to understand, that the person will go to all lengths to achieve this. That means his ways and means to achieve this particular objective is not that clear. And because if he is going all lengths, you should understand what all he can do. Second thing, we know that Sun is the ruler, Sun is the king, and he demands respect. So here actually Sun commands respect because he is the real ruler. He doesn't demand respect, I'm sorry. So he commands respect. And Rahu is a dominating personality. And when this commanding respect and dominating personality comes and mix together, these people start demanding respect. They want it. They want you to respect them. They will make sure that you will respect them. So again, the ways and means to make you, respect them are used in a different way. It may be Sam Dhand Bhed, but they want you to respect them. So all this, if the Lagnadipati is strong, if the Lagnadipati is weak, internally they want the respect, and when they don't get it, they are like, depressed, they are cynicist, they are pessimistic, they do not want to come around those places where they don't get that position and, status. 100% Sun is a king, and he wants felicitations, presents, people coming and giving some good gifts. He loves that when people come and, offer some good offering. The subjects coming to the king and giving him good offerings. So he loves it. So it is a normal tradition that a king has. But here Rahu wants superiority. It is like, I am the one and I am the only one, and nobody else can take my place. So when this merges once again, these two things merge, you can see those type of people everywhere in the world. They want to come up to the stage, they want to be recognized, they want to be garlanded, they want to be, publicized in the papers. They pay the papers to publicize them. So they want to be in the market, they want to be the hot, news. So they want to keep rolling, they do not want to be stagnant. So these people want to be in the market. So this is what it is. And once again, this is a negative characteristic. And anyway, Sun and Rahu combination is not regarded as one of the best combinations. Though there are one or two good results from this, but still it is not regarded as one of the great combinations of the planetary systems. Sun means toiling in the soil, getting sweat, heat, being an agriculturist, or working as a workman, like a foreman, like a forger. So hot things. And Rahu means dirty work, doing all, you are ready to do it. Great thing. Rahu, these people do not have the prejudice to not do any work. They are ready to do any work. And because of these people, the world is clean and the world is going ahead. I am not telling that they can lift only dirty material, but I'll tell you, everybody cannot do it, and we have to respect Rahu for this. This is one of the greatest qualities of Rahu, that they can do any work without inhibition. So that means, for example, a piles doctor, he has to, what he has to see every day, but he is okay with it. A doctor who has to go through cancerous, malignant cancers and go through it and operate it, he cannot eat his food if he is not strong enough like Rahu. So Rahu is a good planet when you take it individually. But here what's happening, these two qualities are merging together. So, uh, all forging industries with lot of sound, lot of chaos, and lot of movement, loading, unloading, all these things come under Rahu. There are problems when people burn their crops after the harvest, the dry crops, and the pollution goes through the wind, and this is regularly seen every year because of one particular state burning the crops, and Delhi or some other places near the capital of India going through a lot of pollution. And people do not understand that you do not have to burn your crops. You can mulch those things, you can simply till those things into the soil, get the microbes more into the soil. But I don't know why it doesn't go into the brain, and it has not gone into the brain. People are working for it, government is working for it, but still people burn the crops, all the dry crops, and make a lot of air pollution. This pollution may not stay for a long time, but still it is suspended particulate matter like carbon dust suspended in the wind and air, which actually causes a lot of death because of asthmatic and breathing problems. Once again, it is due to Sun and Rahu. So Sun represents healthy living, and it is health because it is also Dhanavantari, but it also represents the parts like bones, heart, etc. So Rahu represents excess gain of weight, impurities, and depletion of the health, and hence osteoporosis, heart problem, that is cardiac problem, and blood cancer. One of the dangerous thing is blood cancer can be seen from this combination, but that doesn't mean that everybody who has this combination will go through this huge negative. So please try to understand. You have to see the whole chart, the sixth house, the sixth lord, the 11th house, the 11th lord, the Lagnadipati, the strength, the Ashtakavarga, Shadbala, and all these things, and only then decide that whether there is something wrong. Okay. And also you need to see the timing. You cannot simply tell that it happens. Okay. Again, sun means heat, tropical heat. You know what, how hot it is in the tropics. We are in the tropics. I am in the tropic here, but I am at 12 degrees something, 12 to 13 degrees in between. So still the heat is moderate and it is still manageable. But if it is in between the the strips where the rainfall doesn't happen, the heat is unimaginably huge. So these places give good fruits. You get very good crop, excellent crop where there is heat. But if Rahu is mixed, that person, if he is growing fruit crops, he has to be careful to take care of the pests. Do not use too much of pesticide. Do not use pesticide at all. Do natural farming. But still the pests will come and attack. So be careful and do it with caution. Do not delay the process of doing any agricultural method should not be skipped. So you will get a good harvest, but there is a chance of pests coming and unnecessarily spoiling the harvest. Heat also means that it can boil up something like BP, like blood pressure, like acne in the face. So when Rahu, the oily planet, and the smoky planet is mixed, you can see a lot of acne, you can see a lot of roughness in the face, the ruggedness in the face, and you can see that it is not smooth and plain. It's not simple. Sun means hard work, factories, routine work. The whistle blows, the people come inside and they start working, and then again the whistle blows, they go for their lunch. Again the whistle blows, they come back. These factory, they have the sirens, the alarms, which actually keep making people do their routine work. Rahu is no routine. But still, Rahu is an industrialist. He thinks like an industrialist. So Rahu can make people work. So that means he is a very good owner of a factory or an industry where people do routine work. He is an excellent supervisor. But the problem is that he himself cannot be a strong worker because he gets irritated and frustrated for every small thing. After this, we know that Sun is unbiased. He is a very good judge. Good judge in the sense that he sometimes takes decisions which look socially cruel, but still punishment is punishment, and if you punish, only then people behave. So that's what Sun is, and he is extremely perfect in this one thing, unbiased judgment. And Rahu is a rough politician, very rough. So these people, when these two things, when they come together, these people become selfish and power mongers, and they want the position. And anyhow, so this I have spoken to you earlier, but I am just giving a different perspective. So Sun is a frugal eater and he eats less, but he is extremely strong, muscularly strong, and having super bone power. And Rahu, if it is well posited, it will be a simple person, but shows off in personality. He wants to show that that he is strong and bulky, but actually Sun is stronger than Rahu. But still, when these two things come together, these people go into pseudo, image crisis. That is, the people, they do not want to show actually what is there inside. They would want to show off something else. So they do overspending to protect their social status. They go into unnecessary lengths to get social fame, and they spend very less time with the family. They are always with a gang of friends or people who are able to give good mileage to them. And then they are they are not prompt in their timings. Then they drift away with the their practices, and they go in the evening. You know what all they do in the evening. So Rahu is a Chandala, Surya is the king, and king and Chandala, when they come together, Chandala is a person who is not having any strict practices. He can do anything he wants. He wears anything, he eats anything, he drinks alcohol, does anything. That is Rahu. And when Surya, a prompt, strict, methodical, and prompt person who follows routine, mixes along with this Chandala, you know what can happen. Either Sun takes over Rahu or Rahu takes over Sun. When Sun takes over Rahu, this person becomes like a strict, warden. But when Rahu takes over Sun, this person has loose morals, but has a strong, disciplined face in the society. He has loose morals, but we all know that Sun means fuel, wood, and also petroleum products and anything which can burn and give you heat. So coal, wood, petroleum products, etc. And Rahu means production of power, that which motivates, that pushes, pushing power, thrust, what we call. And when they both are used, we can again see factories, we can again see strong um, building activities, construction activities, particularly on the ground level, like digging, putting, laying bricks, laying the road, laying, making roads, burning forests for making roads. So all these things can be seen in Sun Rahu combination. So we can see burning accidents, bombing and war, which is already going on. We can see that how tough it is, and we can see also the heat wave. So scalding, skin burning, acid burning, all these things are coming under Sun and Rahu put together. So I think I have covered a huge lot of subject today. So hope it is useful, and thank you very much for watching this class. Thank you.